Hello everyone, and welcome back to the on and off series of videos that we don't know if you want, but we like doing them, so we're doing them anyways.
Yeah, Two Bros Review! Yeah! Let's go! Okay.
I actually put a different title on the thumbnail.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I already forget what I put on the thumbnail.
Oh, you
but
did.
I put something under the TB Gin logo that's the actual title, and I've forgotten what it is, so you'll see it on the video. It's not a review, it's something else.
It's something else.
I think I put hot takes.
Hot. Well, I mean,
Because
you look pretty steamy on the
Well, it's more the fact that we literally don't listen to anyone else's opinion. We don't watch other reviews beforehand.
I know.
We just literally watch the movie and then immediate review.
It's our
For
experience.
example, did you know that everyone else seemed to hate the last Terminator movie for a majority of reasons?
I know.
Which we didn't find out about till after we reviewed it.
I know.
That's why we do these things. We give you our actual opinions untainted by anyone else.
Yeah.
We did technically like the Terminator movie. Everyone else didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, but
I enjoyed Terminator.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
No,
we're not here for Terminator.
We're here for
We're
Star
here for
Wars.
Star Wars. So,
And obviously, guys, we're going to do the new Lego game, new Lego Star Wars.
we're not here for that either.
We're doing that in the future.
Yeah. Anyways.
So,
yeah. Oh, hold
spoilers.
on. Hold on.
Spoilers.
Before we actually say anything about the movie,
uh-huh.
this review, that's not really a review, but whatever. This review contains spoilers. We are not going to attempt to avoid spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers,
Get the hell out of here!
Get out. If you're going to watch the movie, get out. If you aren't going to watch the movie, or don't care about spoilers,
Then
please stay.
You can stay. You can stay.
Also, if you don't care about the movie, why are you here?
Exactly. I was about to say that, and you
yeah,
ruined
but
that.
Whatever. Anyways, so first thought on the movie.
Okay, when I was going in, I actually expected to like it. From what they said, they completely rethought everything, and this complete rethought works.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna before we continue, I'm gonna give my immediate first statement. So, for anyone who wants to go into this movie and you want just a quick, not spoiler thought on the movie, here's my thoughts on this movie. Is this the next great Star Wars movie? No. Is this movie well set up by the previous movies? No. Is this movie a good movie? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. This movie, the bad thing about this movie is it suffers from J.J. Abrams getting fired syndrome. Which is the fact that the last movie wasn't directed by Abrams, had none of the setup Abrams wanted, and so now we're kind of stuck in this middle ground where we have a movie with all these ends that had no setups because the movie that was supposed to set all the shit up wasn't made. So, this is what to give, Younger Bro gave how he went into the theater. How I went into the theater is, I went in and sat down and was just like, okay, pretend the last movie didn't happen. Sit down and say, okay, whatever this movie throws my way, I'm going to judge it based on it and it alone. I don't care what the last movie did. The last movie was pretty, it was not that great. Needs a few rewrites.
Yeah. It wasn't great, but when it was good, it was.
It had good moments surrounded by a movie that wasn't thought out well. This movie is a better movie with some bad shit in it. But, is it a good Star Wars movie? I mean, it's as good as The Force Awakens. If you like The Force Awakens, you'll like this one.
Yeah.
If you didn't like The Force Awakens, you probably won't like this one. And, hey, just keep this in mind, guys. There'll never be another one. There's no more Star Wars movies.
As far as we know.
No, with how the movie ended, they basically actually, when they said, oh, there's not going to be another movie. No, they mean there's not going to be another movie because there's no Sith anymore. The Sith is actually fucking gone.
The only way they could bring back Sith, and it is possible, I don't know if it's in recent comics, but you can actually be born a Sith.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that's
The
the
Sith
actual
and
thing.
the
Sith
Jedi
is-
are not going to completely die.
Yeah, the Sith and the Jedi aren't like a bloodline thing, which has been the point behind these movies for a while. Actually, it's not been the point, but it's the thing that everyone says when they talk about the movies. It's not about who you are. It's about who you're trying to be. It's like it doesn't matter if you're a Skywalker or nobody. The point is that if you want to be a Jedi and strive to do that, you can by striving to do it. If you try to be a Jedi and follow their ways and their practices and teachings and beliefs, then you'll be a Jedi. If you don't, and you'd follow the Sith's practices and teachings, you'll be a Sith. It's not about being born one or not. You just are or aren't one by your choices and actions. Like, you guys do get that Jedi is a religion, right? It's a metaphor for Christianity. Jedis are Christians. It's not hard to figure out, guys.
Sith worship themselves.
Yeah, they're Satanists. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The metaphor breaks down, but the point is that it's all about your actions. Either you do it or you don't. You don't need anything to be a Jedi. You just become one.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
As long as you're force sensitive.
Yeah, as long as you have the Metachlorians.
Yeah.
As much as people hate the Metachlorians, I love the Metachlorians.
Yeah.
Like, people get pissed off about the Metachlorians because they're like, it sciences away the mysticism. It's like, no, it doesn't. It literally doesn't. Nothing changed. The only difference is that there's a scientific way of saying you are more force sensitive than other people. It doesn't make you better than anyone else. It just means, hey, if you're trained, you have a natural aptitude for something. That doesn't take away the mysticism of it, because the mysticism wasn't who became a Jedi. The mysticism was the becoming a Jedi part.
Yeah.
Like, but whatever. Anyways, that's talking about the prequels. We're talking about these movies.
Yes.
So, now that we've got the introduction to the fucking thoughts of the movie, how do you think, let's talk about the movie.
Okay, the movie itself is definitely better than Force Awakens and is better than the last movie.
Let's say, that is the big takeaway. If you take anything away, it's better than The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
The dead woman isn't here anymore. And all of her terrible, terrible ideas. Like...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, God, that movie went nowhere.
Yeah.
And this movie went in places.
In places.
I believed this was a Star Wars movie. I'm not sure I believed the last one was a Star Wars movie. It was a really bad one, at least, let's say it that way.
Like, I didn't... Like, the last movie from this one. I didn't overly hate it, but I did think a lot of stuff was pointless.
Yeah. That's kind of the opposite for this movie. This movie, there's points coming from nothing.
Yeah.
They're creating points because there was nothing to bring the points from.
Yeah.
Let's speak into the obvious. To people who are gonna hate these characters, because there are a lot of people who hate these characters.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the characters. Kylo Ren. Is Kylo Ren still a whiny, little kid? Yes.
Yes.
But so was Luke.
So was Luke.
So was Anakin. They've all been whiny.
But then they just get that badass feel from them when they fight or when they show up on screen. So
yeah, the movie's pretty cool in terms of the characters.
Yeah, they improved the characters a lot.
Obviously, Palpatine's in it, which is automatically gonna win points because it's Palpatine.
Yeah, Rose actually went nowhere.
Yeah, Rose went nowhere because they didn't
want it to go somewhere.
Yeah, they wanted... Effectively, I think if they could have written Rose out of the movie entirely, they probably would have. But since she was such a prominent point in the last one...
sequel material.
Yeah, well, the thing was, in the last one, they kept trying to... The last one felt like they were trying to set up that she was the Imperial spy the entire time. And that's why she kept making some, terrible decisions or sabotaging things, trying to lead them in a certain direction.
No.
Because she was an Imperial spy. Yeah, they never answer that, because that didn't matter.
No.
It was stupid. Again, the last movie was kind of stupid. But, we're here now, and starting from where we are, where the last movie ended, starting here, and going through this movie, the Kylo Ren was good.
Yes.
Yeah, Rose was...
Kylo Ren was
Rose
better.
was fine because she was a background character and didn't matter.
Rey definitely improved.
Yeah, Rey.
I actually felt like Rey for a while. I'm like, I love this character.
Yeah, Rey's
but
an
I'd
interesting
like to
character.
like her more.
Yeah, Rey's an interesting character because her first impressions were so lackluster that it's kind of hard to develop off her. But like in this movie, you definitely felt much more
attached.
Yeah, more attached to this character. She goes through an actual struggle in this movie.
Yeah.
Now, to the people who are going to complain that she's overpowered and like she pulls powers out of nowhere, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
That's this whole movie, in fact. Like, the whole this whole, like, trilogy has been people pulling powers out of nowhere. Because, think about it. Like, the whole stopping bolts in midair came out of nowhere. It makes sense within the lore,
I mean,
but it came out of nowhere.
It's possible, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That was just a badass moment for
but
Kylo Ren.
that's the thing. People were mad about that. People were
Why?
Because their thought process was the way they're making us try to care about these characters is giving them these force powers that no one had in the past, so that we care about the powers and therefore care about the people.
To me, who cares about
the
powers in the past?
Exactly.
These are the powers of these characters.
Exactly. That's kind of my thoughts.
I'm sure Darth Vader could have done that too.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like
because it's possible.
Yeah, it's
whatever force power they show on screen is what they can do. We don't know the limits to the force because there is no limit.
Yeah, effectively. Like, well, let's be fair. That's like Yoda saying, "There, do or do not. There is no try." You don't have to struggle to wield the Force, even though you fucking clearly see all of them struggling in every fucking movie.
By the way,
including this one.
Did you hear? This is still on Star Wars topic. This is just a little side.
Okay,
thing.
well, we'll do the side thing. Side corner.
So this actually happened. Someone somewhere in a garage legitimately made a plasma saber.
Oh yeah,
they not actually. No, as in they didn't like take an iron bar and put it in a thing and heat it up. This is actual plasma.
No. That's not the thing. That's the thing. People figured out how to do that for a while now. The problem is that lightsabers have always been shown to have like.
However, it's like the Old Republic lightsaber, like old Republic. You have to have a battery pack.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that. The way lightsabers are portrayed in the media is that there's nothing in there. It's literally just a beam of light that stops.
Yes, and that's what they did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't do that in real life. Light continues on forever, or doesn't. Like, you can't... Light doesn't just stop. There has to be something that makes it stop. Like a wall, or some limiter. And the problem is that the way most scientists have figured out how to do it is, well, we'll just put a metal tube in the middle, and then that metal tube will bend the light back towards the base. So it will in every way represent a lightsaber, but it still has a metal fucking tube in the middle. And no one's figured out a way to make it just be light and not have that fucking metal tube in the middle, because it's impossible.
And I'm trying to tell you, someone actually has come close to that.
Wait, but like, that's the thing, is lightsabers aren't technically plasma. They are just light. But whatever. We're not going in. It makes sense that they're plasma because they have sparks fly off, which wouldn't happen if they're light. It's plasma. Another point. Yeah. But yeah. Side corner over. Point is.
Okay. So
yeah, like
let's see. What did you think about Lando Calrissian coming back?
Oh yeah, Lando's in this movie. It was cool. Like, it's fine.
I was like, great. They had to bring in another old one.
They brought in Lando Calrissian.
So
they brought in the monkey.
In the
they brought in
movie.
like the monkey-faced guy or whatever. Like, I don't know what his name is. The one guy who has that weird face.
Weird face.
The guy who looks like a monkey, who's in like the original trilogy. Like, not a person, the like character.
I'm trying to think.
Okay, I'm sure somebody in the comments will figure out who that guy is, and I'll probably figure out the guy's name.
I
by
don't
Googling
remember.
It.
Like,
but I'll not do that right now.
I don't
Point
know.
is, they also brought in who I'm gonna call Admiral Akbar's son.
Yeah.
Because, they wanted there to be an Admiral Akbar, but he was obviously dead, so they were like, young Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, kinda. So they got a replacement for Admiral Akbar.
They actually had a lot of random, like, different races pop in. Like, some we'd never seen before, some we had.
Yeah.
Which, I liked that. I like seeing the colorful characters in a universe, in a galaxy far, far away where there's all kinds of alien life. I want to see more of that.
I also like how 3PO kind of had like a Sith mode.
Well, no, it's not that. Yeah, the entire plot of this movie is built upon a stupid concept that I think they should have thought through a little bit better. Because the entire plot of this movie is we need to find the Sith Temple. Because that's where Palpatine is. And to get to him and end this whole thing, actually, finally, we have to figure out where the fuck that is. But there's only 2 maps to it. One for a master and one for an apprentice. Yep. And so they spend the whole movie trying to find one of them.
Yep.
And C-3PO is the only one who can read the Sith language. But per Republic law, he is forbidden from translating the message of where the fuck the map is.
Yeah, and the Republic is effectively destroyed.
Here's the weird thing. So technically the Republic isn't destroyed, because didn't they say that the Coruscant blew up, and the reason that didn't kill the Republic was because technically they were on a different planet or something? There was the New Republic or whatever, which also didn't blow up.
I'm not sure.
But whatever. The point is, in Force Awakens, they seem to imply there was a New Republic. But we've not seen that
exists.
Well, we've seen that they exist to an extent, but we've not seen that
where they are at.
We've not seen that C-3PO is part of that. He still seems to follow Leia, who is the Resistance, and not technically. Whatever.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that why the fuck is he following laws from something that ended years ago? Whatever. That's beside the point. The thing that annoyed the fuck out of me was that their thought process was, okay, if C-3PO has translated it and knows what it means, but isn't allowed to tell us.
Can't they just go with him there?
Yeah, or, I think the way the movie is trying to set it up, which they did not word well, was that he knows what the letters are. Each individual letter, he knows. But he is not allowed to translate it. His, brain is not allowed to make a translation. He's just allowed to see the characters and memorize the characters in order. But he is forbidden from translating it. The way they word it is, he knows the translation, but can't say it.
They didn't.
Which, again,
he didn't say that he couldn't just take him to the location.
Yeah,
if
and
it
that's
is
the
a
thing.
location.
If he knows the translation, why the fuck can't he just go to the place? He knows where it is.
I know.
But I think what they mean is he can't translate it. And so they had to go on this quest to a guy who can jack into his brain and cause him to translate it. But that will reset his mind. But, of course, they have a backup in R2-D2.
Yeah. And C-3PO was right to an extent that wasn't that reliable. But at least he remembered his friends, I guess. But no, here's the other thing. Going back to talking about the dagger, do you know what's significant about it?
The dagger has the message on it because it's engraved into the dagger.
No,
I don't know.
It is a Sith dagger.
Well, yes, they said that. It is a Sith dagger.
Yes.
Congratulations.
But here's the thing. No one knows if it's an ancient one or if it's a newer one. Because Sith daggers haven't been used ever since the start of the Sith.
Yeah, my understanding is that the Sith dagger is supposed to be effectively the way the Sith were supposed to work was that there's supposed to be 2. A master and apprentice. The master is supposed to always be on that fucking throne on the holy planet of the Sith. Mm-hmm. He's never supposed to leave. And the apprentice is supposed to be the one out doing his will in the world. And that's the only link between the apprentice and the master, is that dagger that the apprentice carries until he passes it on, which says, here's where one of the maps is. I have one, you can find the other, and that's how you'll get to me. And then you have to put it back there and carry the dagger until you have to go get it again. Mm-hmm. And that's the only way you're allowed to get to me. So I think it's supposed to be like a tradition of you carry the dagger always, but you only go get the crystal when you need it, and then go, and then come back, and then put the crystal back, but always carry the dagger.
Yeah.
And no one can read it but you, because you're the only other Sith. So there should be no one in the world who can read it.
Yeah. And also, let's confirm, Rey didn't turn to the dark side. I don't know why so many people
Well, it's because the trailer showed that there was red in her eyes, and they were like, well, does that mean that she's fighting
And I called
Kylo,
it. I knew what it was. I'm like, this is a Force vision. This is something
Yeah, of
similar to
course
what
it was.
Luke had, and
Yeah.
it was. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
And remember, I mothered to you, the dark side is strong in this place.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was a
Yeah.
Sith temple. Of course, the dark side.
And
was
I
strong
did
in
like
this
the
place.
blade that the Darth Ray used. It was a blade that was similar to the Temple Guards.
Yeah, effectively.
It was a switch dual blade lightsaber.
Yeah.
And
was
I
pretty
thought
nice.
it was cool because what was interesting is literally she switched the dual blade lightsaber in order to catch a single blade. I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like she's just holding the blade in front of Rey. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, getting back to the thing. So yeah, the characters are
Yeah.
better than the last one.
Um,
Probably the best of these characters in period.
yeah.
But again, the problem is there's no real setup.
Yeah.
Like these characters have so little setup because Abrams didn't have time to develop the setup because he got fired.
Yeah.
So like in the whole point of the movie is Ben deciding can he be good or not, and can he kill Rey or not, and yada yada yada. The whole movie is
And
that.
also, I called it. I knew that they would, by the end of the movie, have like a kiss or something. Because I'm like,
I was hoping they'd switch sides. I was hoping she actually would become evil, and he would like turn to the light side and end up having to face her.
no. What I thought, one of my original thoughts, what was going to happen is they'd both turn into the dark side, but they'd actually use it for good.
Yeah, but that's the thing is these movies are
Like they banned the old ways.
Yeah,
and
the
this
movies
is
are
the
stuck.
New way.
The problem is that the movies are always stuck in the strict definition of Jedi and Sith, where Jedi is good, Sith are evil. There is no gray. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense because the entire franchise has long since proven, both from the video games, from the extended universe, from even some of the movies themselves, and the TV shows, that Sith and Jedi aren't good or evil. Sith is just is using your emotions, whereas Jedi are using cold and calculated facts and not being emotional.
And they only fight because it's like a yin and yang kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
But one cannot exist without the other.
Yeah, one can't exist without the other, but you don't even have to be evil to be a Sith. You could just be a good Sith.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you from being an evil Jedi.
And that's literally the definition of a dark Jedi.
Yeah, that's why there's dark Jedi and gray Jedi and light Jedi.
Yeah.
And that's why there should be light Sith and gray Sith and normal dark Sith. But they never go into that.
They never
So-
and never will.
No.
But
Well, no, the movies will not. The
movies won't.
Yeah. Clone Wars did. I think Rebels did.
Rebels did.
And then the Old Republic definitely did.
Oh yeah.
But like we're not going to see that in the movies.
Okay, let's go over some key points here.
We covered most of it.
What-
We covered
okay.
most of the plot.
What did you think about Rey being a Palpatine?
I'm not going to say that totally surprised me. They were obviously going to do something with her. Like as soon as they started talking about the fact that who the fuck she was, because they mentioned that at the very beginning of the movie, like that they know who she is. And it's like, okay, so they're obviously doing something with her. Either she's gonna be a Kenobi or she's gonna be someone.
Yeah,
She's gonna be connected to someone, which is stupid, but whatever. And her being that, to me, that makes sense. Like here's the thing. The movies have not set up a reason why the Force is much more powerful now than it was in the last movies. There is no again, if we're gonna go with stopping lightsaber bolts is a normal thing that Jedi or Sith should be able to do. That's
actually
sense.
an incredibly common technique.
Yeah, that's the thing. It makes sense that they can do that because they can sort of lift things, so they can obviously manipulate things. So why can't they manipulate bolts?
I know.
Or like basically slow down time or slow down the object, whatever.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they should be able to do that, but they never have. So if we're going to accept that that's a normal thing they should be able to do, but have it for generations, and that's not just because no one thought of it. There's been a reason why We've not been given that. We basically just have to accept these characters can, and the only reason we can assume then, if we're not given a lore reason of like, well, because there was like maybe the Sith power, like the Force, is limited. There's a limited amount of Force that exists. So if you have more Jedi, each Jedi will individually be weaker than if you only had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, that would explain why the fuck there's always been this, there can only be 2 between the Sith.
Yeah.
Because the Sith know there's a limited amount of power that can go between all Sith. So it makes sense to contain that in 2 people, because they'll be able to kill more Jedi than the Jedi will be able to kill them.
Yeah.
And that would make sense. That would explain why they're both overpowered. But they don't give that.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to give is, well, because they're from very powerful Force families. Or something. They have... the Jedi is just and Sith is just in their blood. The Force is one with them. And if that's the case, then that makes perfect sense that she's a Palpatine. Yeah. And that he is a Skywalker.
Yeah, because... and I also like at the end that Rey adopted the last name Skywalker. Because I loved Father's remark. He's like, oh, now she doesn't want to choose Palpatine.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he understands.
I told him.
No.
Why?
No. Well, here's the thing. He doesn't seem to understand that, and it's because he hasn't grown up with this. He doesn't understand this idea, this thought process of I don't understand who I am. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have the ability to be that self-thinking, if that makes sense. I don't know the right word.
Yeah, to me, Rey chose the last name Skywalker out of respect.
Yeah, the idea
for Leia,
effectively.
Luke.
Rey's whole journey has been, I don't know who I am. I was abandoned as a child. I've grown up with no parents, and I want to have an identity. Yeah. I have nothing. No one says I am theirs.
And I guess...
And so she went on this entire journey, and the entire point was her finding, oh, I am the granddaughter of the Emperor. I am a Sith youngling, effectively, and it is my destiny to become a Sith. But because she, is not insane, and, wants to do good, her thought process is, no, I'm just gonna not do that.
Yeah.
So out of reverence... she chooses the name Skywalker because she knows that they accept her. They are her family. So she chooses that because they are her family. But also, it's if you just went up to somebody and said, yeah, I'm Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter, they would kill you.
Yeah.
She chose it out of both respect because they are her real family
and smart,
and because it would be stupid not to.
Yeah.
You can go on a journey of self-reflection and figure out who you are and not be stupid.
Also, I did...
Like, if this is the equivalent of saying, oh, my last name's Hitler.
No
one's going to admit that their last name's Hitler, even if it is. Yeah. Like, you would never do that.
Yeah. Also, I guess Lord Palpatine got kinky in order to have a son during his reign.
I just assumed that I assumed that he never had children. And that he just pulled an Anakin again, where he influenced the midichlorians to create a child. Like,
yeah,
I
thought he did something like that too, because he created Snoke, literally.
Well, my understanding, based on this movie, what it seems to be is that Snoke, for anyone who actually wants to know who the fuck Snoke is basically, Palpatine's followers took some of his body tissue and made another entity from him that was Snoke, and he was basically controlling him the whole time.
Yeah.
And so so the people who are like, oh yeah, it's just Palpatine. Yeah, it is.
It literally
He just is. He is literally a body that Palpatine controlled.
Double. Yeah.
Which is why he didn't really give a shit about being betrayed, because, oh no.
Yeah.
You killed my body double. Oh no.
Yeah.
This movie did a lot to try to not retcon, but really try to reinterpret everything that happened in the last movie to make more fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the last movie's whole point was you don't have to be anyone. You could be literally no one, and that's fine. It doesn't matter who Snoke is. It doesn't matter who Rey is. It doesn't matter who anyone is. You're who you choose to be. This movie's thing is no, fuck that shit. it does matter who you are. You are this person, but you don't have to be that. You don't have to be that person just because you're the child of the Emperor.
Yeah.
You can be who you want to be. Which, let me give some shade to J.J. Abrams and some props. That's just the plot of the original trilogy again.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the original trilogy. Luke doesn't have to be Vader because he can choose to not be Vader.
Oh, what was your reaction when they almost fake killed Chewie?
It wouldn't have surprised me if they did kill Chewie. Like, I was just like, yeah, sure. Why not?
My soul dropped. I'm like, no, Chewie.
Yeah, I'm just like,
no. Yeah.
It was pretty good. Yeah, yeah, again, like they did some good fake outs. That was an actual fake out where I don't know if anyone, I bet there were people who believed, a lot of people, including me, that he was dead. Because they didn't do any setup for him not being dead. They just showed him getting on a ship. The ship took off.
Rey blew up the ship.
Rey grabbed the ship.
Accidentally
Kylo Ren grabbed the ship.
Yeah.
And she used so much force that she force lightninged.
Yeah, on
and blew up the whole damn ship.
Yeah.
Which was, honestly, I love the idea that, like, that the Sith have to put out that much power at any given time to force lightning. Like, it is such an advanced technique that you are literally, like, throwing out, like, half your power at once at the enemy.
And, again, they make out force lightning as, like, an ultimate Sith move, which it's not.
Well, that's the thing.
Jedi
in the games. In the movies, it has always been a very highest advanced Sith move.
I know.
The games just put it very early because it's cool and you want to do it. But they don't want to put it at the end where you almost never use it.
But I'm trying to tell you that in lore, Jedi actually did use lightning.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
However, they only stopped exclusively using it because they used it for a lot of things. They stopped exclusively using it because apparently it draws out more hate.
I mean, I can see that, but I don't think that's. But again, that's not a question of is it an advanced technique. It is a very advanced technique.
Oh yeah,
it is. And that's the thing.
You have to be incredibly powerful in the Force in order
exactly,
to do
and that's the thing. The Jedi just stopped using it. It's not like they forgot how to use it.
They can use it. I'm sure Yoda can use it.
He did use it. That was the point.
No, he deflected.
Well, he deflected it, but that was that.
But he can't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not that he can't use Force lightning. He just doesn't.
He chooses not to.
He and that's always been the thing with that. It's always been that way. Where he can use it, he just doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry, that was very repeating the same thing over and over again. My apologies. I was trying to make a better point there, but another point. Anyways, so yeah, that I liked that. Bringing back Lando was cool.
What about this was probably the ultimate disappointment in the movie for me. The Knights of Ren.
The Knights of Ren were there.
They were there.
That was basically it.
I was so disappointed. I'm like, they can't give him one dialogue. You can't give him one dialogue.
Well, the whole point in this is that the Knights of Ren aren't anyone. The Knights of Ren in this are basically just Kylo Ren's personal bodyguards.
No.
They're not supposed to be anyone.
They're not even clone troopers or anything. They know how to use the Force. They are Force sensitive.
Yeah, but in this, no.
No, they treated they treated the Knights of Ren as the Red Stormtroopers at the end of Last Jedi.
Yeah, effectively, in this franchise, in the movies, the stuff that they ignoring what they've retconned.
Yeah.
In the new trilogy.
Yeah.
The Knights of Ren are not anything that you know what they were in the past. They are not Force sensitive. They are basically just normal stormtroopers that serve Kylo Ren. They are his personal bodyguards and nothing else. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
in the new comics, they are not. They are Force sensitive.
Yeah.
And maybe they were Force sensitive. We just didn't see it because Ben was killing them all.
Because they were all dead. Yeah, exactly. They were pretty They were pretty wimpy.
And we barely saw them use their weapons. I mean, I saw the one guy with, like, the big staff, like, hit Kylo Ren across the face.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Now let me give some props to this movie. Again, I am not one who hates the new Force powers and the new stuff they've ever done in the movies. I didn't hate the midichlorians. I didn't hate when Kylo Ren stopped the bolts, because that was cool.
I thought that was badass.
And I don't hate the fact that that Kylo Ren and...
I mean, he has a fucking crossguard lightsaber. He went old school.
Yeah, it's cool. And, like, I know that in the lore he did that he did that because it was supposed to be an accident. He just didn't know how to fucking fix it. But newer ones...
the Kyber crystals are broke as he wanted a crossguard lightsaber. That's how
but that's the thing. In the original movie, the way he said it was that he was looking for that... for Anakin's for Luke's lightsaber, because he didn't know how to make a lightsaber properly, and his was broken. After the movies, he just fucking chose to do it that way, and yeah, it's cool. But originally, the original little thing was that he was supposed to be getting that blue lightsaber on screen right now because he couldn't figure out how to fucking fix his damn broken crossguard. And now he's just like, fuck it, I just want the damn crossguard that way, which is cool.
And what
bad if you fucking turn it and cut your own damn hands off. But
what I also thought was cool. Okay, so Rey and Kylo also have kind of like this bond kind of thing.
That's what I was gonna talk about. I don't hate that either. I wish that they would explain it. I wish that they would give explanations for these things.
And go further with it, but
that made more sense. But they didn't, and that's bad.
Ben died.
Yeah,
Ben died.
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. But the point is that, well, I mean that is a point, but which is sad. He did die. But no, the thing I was saying was, it does upset me they don't go into depth of why these powers are happening and why they didn't happen in the past. They don't give any reason for it. But on their own, do I like that they exist? Heck yeah. Like, in the same way, I don't hate that they added, like, the thing that you can track through light speed. Yeah. Well, I didn't strictly hate it in the last movie. I thought it was like, okay, that's weird. Why couldn't you do that before? But now can. But no, in this movie, they had, like, an excellent scene where they were doing light jumps. And still fighting through those light jumps. So they would just jump someplace and
what did they call it? They called it hyper skipping.
Yeah, it was like light skipping or whatever.
Light speed skipping.
Yeah, light speed skipping, where you just skip between locations and just keep fucking fighting through that. And I was like, that's cool.
That's
awesome. Same thing happened in this movie with the Force. Kylo and Rey have...
interactive force.
Yeah, well, they've been shown that they can interact across infinite distances, and they can basically when one sees the other, they can even take objects from the other.
Yeah.
So they had a cool moment at the end when, again, spoilers, that Ben turns to the light side and is starting to kill the Knights of Ren. They have this cool moment where Rey just puts the lightsaber behind her back and he pulls it out of the universe and fucking attacks with it.
Destroys the Knights of Ren.
I like the idea of that, where you're like, just imagine that in combat. Imagine that in the combat in like the olden times. Imagine a like group of Jedi going back and forth, just fucking trading lightsabers.
Dude, that would be awesome.
So like,
put that in the game, guys. Put that in a game.
I don't even know how the fuck they do that.
Oh,
yeah, I like the idea of that. It's cool.
Just switch it back and forth.
Again, they don't do the best job of setting up the stuff they're doing in this trilogy. But the stuff they're doing is cool enough that I don't give a shit.
What I thought they were going to do with the lightsabers... oh, by the way, before I continue with this, they did apparently Leia at some point after Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
At some point,
Leia had training.
Yeah, Leia did train.
Which we would have loved to know last movie.
Yeah.
When we were getting pissed off is why the fuck can she fly back to the ship. Would have been great to know that last movie.
So she did at one point become a Jedi for a little while.
Yeah, like she literally was a Jedi. She trained under Luke and had her own lightsaber.
Yeah.
Which is in this movie.
Yeah, speaking of the lightsabers, what I thought Rey was going to do with them, reconstruct both of them into a double lightsaber. I thought they were going to do that.
Out of reverence, at the end of the movie, she puts back both lightsabers in the desert at Luke's home.
Yeah.
Next to those fucking power converters he never went to get.
And Rey built a new lightsaber, and it's fucking orange. I'm like, yes.
They're just like, hey,
Hey, Fallen Order, can
Hey,
we
Fallen
borrow
Order. Yeah,
your
we'll borrow your
orange lightsaber?
But
Dude,
yeah.
it was a badass kind of hilt. Like, the hilt, it extends and twists, and it opens up when she ignites it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is a badass saber.
Mm-hmm.
Just, there was some good moments in this freaking movie.
Yeah,
like,
and that gets back to my thing about this movie. I don't think this is the greatest Star Wars movie. But if you sat me down and were like, does this feel like a Star Wars movie? Yes. Do I actually give more of a shit about these characters than I did in the first movie? Yeah. These characters have grown on me, even though, like, they're not the best. It's, again, this trilogy I would not say is better than the original trilogy, and I would not say it's better than the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But, like, this felt like an actual Star Wars movie.
No.
Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for showing that, if someone needs to be the new George Lucas, if George Lucas has gone too far off the deep end to make more Star Wars movies and wants to make movies about literally going into the world of the midichlorians and having, like, I don't even know how the fuck you have Star Wars in that, but whatever.
No.
Anyways, if we need a new person who can be the new George Lucas, J.J. Abrams knows what the fuck he's doing.
No. Going back to lightsaber combat, I don't know if you noticed it, but, okay, when they were fighting at the Death Star, at the end of that fight, they went dual blade. Not dual blade. They went backwards blade. As in, they held their lightsabers backward. Kylo Ren fighting with a crossguard lightsaber backwards was a fucking badass moment.
I have to... Yeah, speaking on the lightsaber fights for a minute, I have to admit I was disappointed in the lightsaber fights in this movie.
They were kind of short.
Well, no, it's not the shortness. It was... Here's the problem. Let me describe these as being in between the original series and the prequel trilogy. In the original series, the lightsaber fights were nothing. Like, the lightsaber fights were cool, but they were basically like mental duels, where it was less about doing cool moves and more about predicting your opponent's movements and hitting them.
Yeah.
So they were very slow and stood still and did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
In the prequel trilogy, they were all tightly scripted, like, events, where there was so much backflipping, so much hitting, that it actually felt like a cool fight. This was kind of in the middle, where the fight was slower than the prequel trilogies. It wasn't like fighting Darth Maul or fighting General Grievous. It was a much slower fight.
Because it was mostly fights between Kylo Ren and Rey, and neither one wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of disappointed me to an extent. That's the problem. One of the things about these movies that, again, has been lost in this trilogy is none of the villains want to kill each other. Like, Rey doesn't want to kill Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren doesn't want to kill Rey. Fucking Palpatine didn't want to kill Kylo Ren or Rey.
Well,
until the very fucking end. Like, I mean the last 5 minutes. Like, literally, the whole point of Palpatine was that he wanted Rey to show up and so that she could kill him, and then he could be, like, his spirit could go into her, and that she would become the next
It was
Emperor.
because, in the comics, Emperor Palpatine could, like, he had experiments.
Basically, the best way to describe it is he had Orochimaru powers from Naruto, where he could literally put his soul in someone and basically take them over in effect.
Yes.
Yeah, like something like that.
But also Palpatine had, like, lab experiments.
Well, yeah, and that's what Snoke was, effectively.
That's what Snoke was,
yeah,
and that's how he's alive.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. He basically pulled a Rick and cloned himself and whatever.
Yeah. It's not the original Palpatine.
No.
Whatever his body is in this movie,
it's made of whatever the fuck Snoke's made of, but it still looks like Palpatine. But yeah, it's definitely something's weird about him.
Yes.
But no, that's the funny thing.
And also, we can definitely confirm Palpatine is fucking dead.
Yeah, he is now 1,000% dead, not revivable.
Nope.
Actually 100% dead this time.
Gone.
Not falling into a pit where he theoretically dies. Like, he
got
incinerated dead.
Yeah, like, he is gone.
He got Thanos. Like, he was scraps by the end of that thing.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Again, unless they pull a clone thing, but they're not going to.
Because that's where the clone place was.
Exactly.
Like, there's no way.
The entire
planet
isn't destroyed, but it's effectively uninhabited now. No one can really get there anymore.
No.
It's done.
No.
Yeah. We can say for certainty, Palpatine will never return. He's fucking gone for good.
Unless he returns as like a
Force ghost.
a
Yeah.
He
Sith ghost.
There are Sith ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. They could. It's not a Jedi thing. It's just a Force thing. He could do it.
He has to be at a certain level in order to do it. Like
he's definitely there.
Like in order for a Sith ghost, I'm gonna call it that, to appear, you have to pee. You have to pee.
You have to pee. We have to pee, guys. Actual bathroom break.
No.
And we're back.
You have to be in a certain place where the dark side is unimaginably
and the fucking
high.
temple is.
And the temple is one of those places that could theoretically be.
Yeah, exactly. So he should be a Sith ghost.
Yeah.
That should
so
be a
it is possible to bring him back, but as a Sith ghost.
Yeah, he should not be living ever.
No,
again.
no, that's not possible.
But yeah, so yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie. Basically, is the movie better than the last one? Yes. Is it better than The Force Awakens? Maybe. It's more original, except for the parts where they were on Hoth, and the parts where they were.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing: it actually feels like they tried to put movies 5 and 6 in this one movie because there's a Hoth section where they show up on Hoth for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't think it's actually Hoth, but they show up on a planet, get a thing, and then immediately leave, and it's like, so that's the Hoth section, and then they have some sections that felt like the 6th movie again.
Yeah.
So it's just like, again, this felt like Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Those other movies are still better than this one, but these do have original ideas to them that aren't the insane thoughts of George Lucas. And it is fun. Like
this movie, I can say for certain deserves to be a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, like I liked. Let's say it this way: as much as people might think it's stupid that like Palpatine was literally embodying all the Sith that had ever come before him. Yeah. He was literally every Sith, and that for a few minutes at the end of the movie, Rey was literally all the Jedi ever.
Yeah.
As much as you might think that's stupid, it was still a cool moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so like, I'm not going to say this was the best movie ever. I liked the movie. It was a better Star Wars movie than the last one. J.J. Abrams is capable of making good Star Wars movies. And in 10 years, when he's allowed to make another one, then we might actually get some new original ideas. Yeah. And hopefully, we won't have any more fucking Sith fights that are slow and boring. Yeah. Let's have some actual good Sith fights again.
Just one day. I'm actually doing a story on this. I'm actually writing a story on this.
Of course you are.
Because I wanted to. I felt like it. One day, I want there to be a movie where there are 2 Sith, but one of them uses his powers for good, and the other one is for evil.
You know what I want them to do? I want them to actually do an Old Republic movie series. Like
they're doing a Disney Plus series.
No, fuck Disney Plus. I'm saying if they make new movies, I want them to take place in the past and actually have full-on warfare between thousands of Jedi and thousands of fucking Sith.
We'll play the Old Republic game.
Make this the actual fucking end of the franchise. Make this, there is never any Sith ever again. This is the actual end. The Jedi are even gone. Like, there's nothing more.
Yeah.
The galaxy's actually finally at peace. And just go back in time and show that shit. Because that...
And just move up from there, and they could do that.
Yeah.
They could literally write hundreds of movies if they did that.
Yeah, just go in the past, guys. Steal EA's ideas. Go into the past, do an Old Republic movie
Old
series.
Republic, the game, is really good.
Yeah, and that's why I don't hate as much as some people don't like the prequel trilogy. That's why I didn't hate it, because it was basically just it was the end of that, where there was still the Jedi Council, there was still this air of like, we're fighting the Sith, but we don't know who the Sith are anymore.
Yeah,
and that's all gone in the new movies. Again. As much as you might hate the prequel trilogy, the lightsaber battles were on point.
Like the Darth Maul battle?
Darth Maul battle was great. The battle with The battle with
Grievous.
Count Dooku was great. The Count Dooku fight was great. Even the fight
Grievous.
between Palpatine and Yoda was great.
Yeah.
Like,
Palpatine and Yoda, whole
that's what I want. If they're gonna make new movies, actual movies, not Disney Plus things, not side movies, I mean real new movies, make them in the past, and give us grand lightsaber duels between Sith champions and Jedi champions.
Dude.
Fight Coruscant versus Korriban, Empire versus Republic.
That would be... Yeah, I think that'd be a very, very interesting idea.
Just stop making new movies. Make old movies.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or are you good?
Let me think here. Oh, the new droid. What was
New
his
droid
name?
was fine.
Dino?
I don't remember his name.
Not Dino.
He was in
Dino.
so little of the movie, I don't remember his name. But he was fine.
Yeah,
I
I loved that droid. And it was the first droid that we've seen in the movies that's
Basically,
it's
younger
not
bro
humanoid.
younger bro is like, hey, this is the first non-humanoid droid that talks.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is true, but I can't remember any counterexamples. So I'm gonna believe he's right.
Yeah, there is none. I have watched all these movies, and this new droid is the only droid that is non-humanoid that can speak.
I wish they would have gone back into his backstory a little bit, because they seem to imply he was like abused, and they never went into that. And except for the one scene where he was skittish.
I don't need the backstory because his owner was, the guy with the Sith dagger, the guy who killed Rey's parents.
Well, yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
So it doesn't surprise me that it was abused.
I'm just saying that there wasn't a lot of payoff to it. It's just there's the one scene where he was skittish, and after that, the few scenes he shows up in, he's not skittish anymore. That's it. It's like there was.
It was improvement.
Yeah, exactly. There was an improvement that happened off screen, and we didn't see any of that. And so it's just like, so why did you include it if you're not gonna? If there's no point to it, effectively, other than that one scene.
Well, that little droid, we can just assume, hey, it got used to them. So.
I guess, but yeah. I wish there was a bit more to that specifically, but
here's another cool scene actually, when they actually didn't use speeders on the command.
Oh yeah, let me go into the final fight for a little bit, because some people have not seemed to understand the final fight. So in the final fight, they go to the Sith planet.
Yeah.
The Sith. The whole point is the Emperor Palpatine has secretly been creating a new Last Order, which I'm going to call Order 66. Just for no apparent reason. Anyway, so Order 66 is basically, he's created an entire fleet of Star Destroyers.
There's thousands.
Which I'm going to call Ultra Star Destroyers, because they're basically Death Star lasers attached to a Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah, they all have planet-destroying weapons.
So yeah, so the entire thing is they're trying to shut down these ships. And apparently they've thought of the fact that, they can just block our speeders. So we shouldn't use speeders. So what they do is they literally land on the ships and walk out on actual pack animals. Basically, they take horses effectively and
they
charge
are horses
across.
with horns.
Yeah, they charge across the fence.
Yeah.
Now some people, I've heard some people, by some people I mean people in our car, complain. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You can't breathe in space. They're not in space. They're in the atmosphere of the planet.
They thought they were in the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like, it would be like if they were on a plane 1,000 miles in the air. Yeah, it's unlikely they can do that. You'd probably be blown off by
But this
winds,
is a big,
but whatever.
It's an equivalent of a helicarrier.
Exactly. So what? Yeah. So first off, yes, they could do that. It's unlikely, but they could do it.
Yes.
So don't try to be that guy and be like, they can't breathe in space. They weren't in space.
They weren't in space.
They were in the atmosphere of that planet.
Yeah, and who knows how high that atmosphere is?
Yeah, exactly. So we're not gonna
dive into that.
Point is,
it happened.
They could breathe in space.
Yes,
because that wasn't space.
It was an atmosphere.
They could breathe in the atmosphere of the planet they were on.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah. I actually liked that scene because I was like, yeah, that's actually different. They finally did something fucking different.
Yeah. Did we say Leia is actually officially dead now?
Yeah, Leia finally died at the basically halfway through the movie, and then fully died at the end of the movie, where she became a Force ghost.
Yeah,
which happened after she died, which I thought was weird.
I did not want Ben to die. I knew he was going to die after they said Leia foreseen her son dying. I'm like, yep, Ben's going to die.
Yeah, and he died he basically died so that she could live. And I was just like, cool, I guess. I kind of wish he would have
I did hate
I
that.
wish he would have lived and had to be like,
Yes!
and then
Yes.
been like, I wasn't powerful enough as a Jedi to do that yet. To do what Rey did. So therefore, I'm going to learn how to do that. Because in this movie, they also introduced the fact that in addition, the Jedi now have this power where you can basically use the
Force
to
to heal
heal things. Yeah, to literally regrow flesh and wound, like which I thought was cool. Because
That's possible.
If the Sith can cause the midichlorians to create life, the Jedi aren't able to fucking influence the midichlorians to repair life. It makes
They're
sense.
healers.
Yeah, they're healers. They're peacekeepers. It makes sense they should be able to do that. So,
no, and here's the thing. I'm pretty sure in Rebels there was a Force-sensitive character that was using the Force to heal others.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was cool too. That effect was cool. But yeah, I do wish that he hadn't been able to do it. She would have actually died. And then he would have lived and had to
learn the ways.
And had to learn the ways
of a Jedi.
Yeah, of the Jedi. Like, because the reason they're not doing that is because they want her to be the new teacher and have learned from Leia and Luke.
Yeah.
And
that's why she... Ben learned from Luke too. So.
I guess, but yeah, whatever.
No, I just didn't want Ben to die. I wanted that Force... I wanted that vision to be wrong.
Here's the thing. I'm happy he did die just because...
They would have made out later.
No, because I would have been a bit mad. Well, honestly, no. I wouldn't have been mad if he'd lived for that reason. If they used that to break the whole damn rule of Jedi can't have emotions or families or whatever, and you are allowed to have couples that are Jedi together, that I would have been fine with that.
Leia's a prime example.
I would have been mad about that because in as much as people complain about these two being overpowered, I feel like they would have complained even more if he literally revived her and not died. It's one thing to literally give up your life for hers.
Yeah,
but it's one thing to literally give part of your life away and both of you still be alive.
Yeah.
Like, so I like that he just said, no, I've done too much.
Yes.
And I could probably... make up for all that. But I'm going to make up for all that by saving you.
Yeah.
That's going to be my way of redeeming myself.
It was a payoff, yes, but to me the saddest part was Han's dead. Leia's dead.
Well, to be fair, Leia was already dead. Leia was dead.
Know.
She shouldn't have been in this movie. She was already dead.
I know. But then their son, their last line...
Yeah, their son's dead. Yeah.
Dead. So there's no more solos.
There's no more solos, and there's no more Skywalkers that are actual Skywalkers. But whatever. There is another.
I mean, Rey can legally change her name.
Well, yeah, anywhere. But it's not the same thing. But yes, but effectively, she's choosing to be a Skywalker. Yes. So, yeah, that's... Okay, guys, that's all our thoughts, basically, on this movie. It was a good movie.
Good.
Let's say it this way. It's payoffs without introductions to those payoffs.
Yeah, I wish Knights of Ren, which I was so
I wish they would have. I wish they could have had more build up to all these payoffs, and that we could have gotten to know and love these characters more. But since the last movie happened and we couldn't, this was the best we were gonna get. I don't think. Let's say it this way: I cannot imagine there being a much better Star Wars movie after the last one. Like if you made that the only Star Wars movie that had ever existed, and made this the sequel to that movie, it would be the greatest movie ever. But, given that last movie existed, this is probably the best we were going to ever get.
Yeah.
So, if you want to go watch this, guys, and, you want to see a much better Star Wars movie than the last one, this one's better. This is a lot better of a movie.
Yeah.
If you've given up on these movies and didn't like the first J.J. Abrams movie, didn't like the last movie, then you probably aren't going to like this one. Yeah. So... I think that covers our entire hot take on Star Wars.
Yeah.
We will see you on the next hot take, which will be for insert movie name here. Goodbye.
Bye.